Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we will be discussing one of the major important interview questions that's asked for every interview if you are appearing for data engineer or data analyst role. So this particular topic is very important even if you are a business analyst, data engineer or a data scientist. So this particular topic is related to windowing function. In the last video, we have already covered what is a rank, what is a dense rank, what is a row number, what is an aggregated function, how you can use the windowing function, how you can use the partition by clause, how you can use the over by clause, order by clause as well. So in this video, one more important topic that we will be discussing that is related to windowing function, that is lag and lead. So let's get started with the demo of the practicals. I will show you what does a lag mean and what does a lead mean, and then we will jump into the practicals. So in this particular data set I have picked up, it's a very simple data set, that is the employees data set. In this employees data set, I have an employee name, department and salary. And there are three departments that we have, that is my sales, finance and marketing. In the sales department, there are different salaries of each employee. Finance also have different salaries. So what I will be doing first is I will be going ahead and dividing each employee into their departments. So in this, each employee is belonging to a specific department. After I partition the employees in a specific department, I will be going ahead and ordering their salary in an ascending order. And each employee is in ascending order. In this case, if you will see 3,000, 4,100 and 4,600. Similarly for finance, each employee is being ordered by their salary in the ascending order. Now I have to calculate the lag and lead function for this particular data set. What does lag mean? Lag means here, if I go into this particular data set, the lag means the previous value. What is the previous value of 3,000? It is not there. There's an empty data set. It's not there, right? So I am putting null value. There's no previous data set for Maria. What is the previous data set for Scott? It is 3,000. So I'm putting the lag value as 3,000. Now, what is the previous value for Jen? It is 3,300. So I'm putting 3,300. As you remember, I'm partitioning the data set on the basis of department, right? So this lag value is complete. Now, I have partitioned it on the basis of department. So what is my lag value for Kumar? There is no other employee before Kumar whose salary is less than 2,000 for marketing, right? So there is no value for marketing employee guy who salary is less than Kumar. So I'm putting it null value. What is the previous salary or lesser salary for Jeff? The previous value, it's 2,000. So I'm putting here 2,000. Now let's talk about James. What is my previous salary for James? Think about it. It is the department is their sales. There's no previous value for sales. It's marketing. So I'm putting here the value as null. Similarly for this sales, what is my previous value for this James? It's 3,000. So I'm putting here 3,000. What is the previous value for Robert? It's for James salary. That is 3,000. I'm putting here 3,000. What is my previous value for Saif? It's 4,100. So I'm putting 4,100. What is my previous value for Michael? It's 4,600. So I'm putting here 4,100. Sorry. So it's 4,100. So this is my lag value. Lag value means whatever is my previous value for that particular current row. And as I'm partitioning it with the help of one particular column called department, so whatever value it will not find for that particular department, it will go ahead and assign the null value. So that's my lag. Now let's talk about lead. What is lead? So whatever is the next value, that will be my lead value. So let's talk about for sales. what is my next value for James here? This is my next value, so it will come here. Now, what is my next value for James in this particular row? It is what? 4100. So I'll put 4100 here. What is my next value for Robert? It is 4100. So I'm putting 4100. What is my next value for Seth? It is 4600. So I'm putting 4600. Now, what is the next value for Michael? There is no value here. So I am putting here the null value. So whatever is the next record, it will put that record in the current record that you're looking for, right? So that is my lead function. So now let's go to our Databricks notebook and see that in the practicals basically. So this is my notebook. I have my cluster open. I have created a data frame. If you don't know how exactly you can create a data frame, please go ahead and watch my previous video in which I've explained you how to go ahead and create a data frame. Now this data frame is ready, and I will go ahead and import some function. So as we are dealing with lag and lead functions, these functions are present inside my pyspark.SQL.functions. There are so many functions that are present inside the pyspark.SQL.functions, but I don't need all of them. So I'm not importing all of them. It's a better practice to import the functions that you actually need. So I'm importing only two functions from my pyspark.SQL.functions. Now let's talk about the window function, because we need to partition the data on the basis of department, right? So I will be using a window function, which is a function present inside the module pyspark.SQL.window. So I'm importing these two functions. Now I will be creating a window, that is I will be creating a partition on the basis of I will be calculating my lag and lead. So I am using a variable called window spec. I'm using the function window which I have already imported, and I will be partitioning my data on the basis of department. So each department will be partitioned into one particular data set, right? So each department is in one particular bucket. You can think of there are three buckets, and each bucket is having one department. Sales is inside one bucket, finance is in one bucket, and my other marketing is in my other bucket, right? So now after I have it in my each bucket, I want to order it by salary in an ascending order. As I'm ordering it by ascending order, so I'm not mentioning an ascending here. If you want to order it by descending order, you have to mention the function descending in order to order it by descending order. Now how exactly you put your column name? You put it inside the quotation mark, which is as a string method that we are using here in this case. Now let me run this. My window spec variable is ready now to use it. Now I will be creating one column called lag. As I showed you in this Excel sheet, I have one more column called lag. This is my original data set, but I have one more column here called lag. So I will be creating one more column called lag. In this lag, I am putting my column name lag, and how will I calculate that? I have this lag function which I have imported from my SQL functions, and I'm putting my column name on the basis of what I want the lag. It is the salary, and over what? I want to do it over my department, as I have partitioned it by department and ordered it by salary. I want to use this window specifically in order to calculate my salary. So if you will see here, each department is in one specification bucket, and I'm calculating my lag. So there is no value above 3000 here, so there is a null value. What is the previous value of 3300? It's 3000. What is my previous value of 3900? It's 3300. So I'm assigning it here. Now, what is my previous value of 2000 for marketing? There's no previous value of marketing. So I'm assigning it here null. What is my previous value of marketing for 3000? It's 2000. So I'm assigning here 2000. What is my previous value for my sales for 3000? There is no previous value. So I'm assigning null. What is my previous value for James sales? For this particular record is 3000. So I'm assigning 3000 and so on. I hope you got the clear picture how exactly the lag function works. Now let's think about the lead function, how exactly works. So before the lead function, let's talk about one more parameter into it. It's very interesting. If you will see here, if I run this particular command, what does it do? I will tell you. Now I have this lag and salary. I'm mentioning an offset value here, which is 2. I'm keeping my other functionality same. I'm putting my window specification, partition by my department, ordering it by salary in ascending order, but I am lagging it by 2 values. So what it will do? Now this 3000 is, there's no null value, but it will skip 2. It will give me the previous second record. So what is the previous value for 3300? It's 3000. But what is the previous two previous values of 3300? There's no previous value of 3300. This is my first previous value. What is my second previous value? There's nothing. So it will put me null. Now, what is my previous value for 3900? Two previous values, it's 3000. So I'm putting here 3000. Now, let's talk about sales. What is my previous value for 3000? There's no previous value for 3000. Two previous values. So now, what is my two previous values for 3000 here? There's no previous value for 3000 for this particular record. So null. What is my two previous value for this 4100? This is my first previous value and this is my second previous value. So it's 3000. Now, what is my second previous value for this 4100? This is my first previous value. This is my second previous value. So it's 3000. Now, what is my second previous value for 4600? It's 4100. So this is my second previous value for Michael. So if you want the second previous value, you put 2. If you want the third previous value, you put 3 and so on. So that is called an offset. Now, let's dig into one more parameter for this lag function, which is again very interesting. Every time if there's a null value, it doesn't look good, right? And for data analysis purpose also, it's very difficult and it's not right way to do a data analysis. So instead of null, let's say you have a business requirement in which you want to replace this null value with 100. Okay, so if I run this command, you will see all my null values will be replaced by 100. So see, these two were my null values. The first two records were my null values. So I'm replacing it with my 100. Now these 4 records are my null values. Now I will replace them by 100. So this is how you can put a default value. If the value is null, you can put a default value for that particular null value record. Okay, so these 3 parameters are given for the lag function. I hope it's very clear. If you are liking this video, then hit the like button, subscribe to my channel as well, share it with my friends. I go ahead and create a lot of videos related to PySpark, Databricks, AWS. So stay tuned you can watch those playlists as well. Now let's deal with the lead function. So what is a lead function? Lead function will give you the next value. So I will run this particular command. Okay. Now in this, what is the next value for 3000 for finance department? It's 3300. What is my next value for 3300 for Scott? It's 3900. What is my next value for 3900 for Jen? Is it 2000? No, it's not 2000 because finance department is only the last employee here. Here is Jen. There's no more employee records. So there's no value. So I'm putting null. Now, what is the next value for 2000 for marketing, Kumar? It's 3000. What is my next value for Jeff for marketing? There's no value because the next value is the sales. So I'm putting here null. So that is my lead function. Now, let's go to one more interesting way of this, which is my offset value. Okay. So in this offset value, I'm leading it by 2, records. Now, what is my next value for 3000? It's 3900, right? Why? Tell me why. It is because I'm putting here offset 2. It's the not the next value, it's the second next value, which is 3900. What is my second next value for 3300? This is my first value for finance. What is my second value? There is no value. After Jen, there is no other employee. So I'm putting here null. Let's talk about sales. Now, what is my next value for 3000? It is 3000. What is my second next value for 3000? It's 4100. So I'm putting here 4100. What is my next value for 3000? It's 4100. What is my next value of second next value for this 3000? It's again 4100. So I'm putting here 4100. What is my second next value for Robert? 4100. It's 4600. So I'm putting here. What is my second next value for 4100? This is my first value, but there is no second value. So I'm putting here null. What is my second next value for 4600 for Michael? There is no value. So I'm putting here null. Now let's jump into a second most interesting thing, in which we can replace the null value with the default value by the help of default. So wherever there were null values, I'm replacing it by my default value. I don't want the null values basically. I want the lead to happen, but wherever there is a null value coming, I want to replace it with some default value. In my case, I want it to replace this by 100. So this is my lead function. So in the previous video, I've explained you what is a rank, what is a dense rank, what is an aggregated function. Do go ahead and watch that video to understand more about the windowing function. And I will come up with an interview series as well, where exactly the windowing functions is being asked, what all kinds of questions are being asked in windowing function. It's very important to know. If you like this video, then do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.